Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm a Harry.
Oh, sorry.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough like... well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
You have a roof over your head, a place to call home. Many people here are not as lucky, you know.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. But I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Das hatten wir auch noch nicht.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Ich räume mal ein bisschen auf, ne? Ja, Mann. Boy!
Even my dream.
Wenn Sie vermuten, dass jemand ein Vampir ist, versuchen Sie nicht, ihn zu töten. Sie haben keine Chance. Melden Sie sich lieber bei mir oder informieren Sie einen professionellen Vampirjäger. Diese Männer und Frauen sind selten, aber sie wissen, wie man mit diesen bösartigen Wesen umgeht. Es scheint auch so, als würden einige von ihnen unter dem Namen Wache von Private zusammenarbeiten. Diese paramilitärische Organisation hat sich der Ausmerzung aller Vampire in London verschrieben. Sie sind ihre Freunde. Sie sind nicht allein. Es gibt Lösungen. Seien Sie schlau. Verbreiten Sie die Kunde. Clarence Crossley. Melden Sie sich für weitere Informationen direkt bei mir. Ein Absagebrief. Sehr geehrter Mr. Peterson, es ist leider meine Pflicht, Sie darüber in Kenntnis zu setzen, dass wir Ihre Bewerbung für die Stelle in der Werft ablehnen müssen. Ich danke Ihnen dafür, dass Sie uns im Gespräch die Schwierigkeit Ihrer Lage mit Ihrem kranken Sohn und Ihrer verstorbenen Gattin erläutert haben. Es ist jedoch ein ausdrücklicher Teil unserer Firmenpolitik, keine ehemaligen Verbrecher oder Häftlinge anzustellen. Ihre unseligen Verbindungen zu den berüchtigten Wet Boot Boys wurden ordnungsgemäß berücksichtigt. Dies sind schwere Zeiten, Sir, und Finch und Harper berücksichtigt zuerst jene Bewerber, die unseren flüchtigen Nachforschungen über unsere zukünftigen Mitarbeiter genügen. Sie haben mein tief empfundenes Mitgefühl. Möge Gott Ihnen und Ihrer Familie gnädig sein. Hochachtungsvoll, R.D. Harper.
It's locked.
Oh. Das ist doch schon Joe.
You again? What do you want this time?
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe? You know it doesn't suit you.
It's true, I hate this job. And I know I made some bad choices, but I'm a wet boot boy now. And people won't forget it.
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life in another town.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We are poor. My son's weak. And there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Ach, der Prediger war ja der geilste, ey. Ist der Whittaker? Pfarrer Tobias Whittaker. Na ja gut, hier ist auch glaube ich nichts mehr. Dann schauen wir mal weiter. Ein kleiner Blumenstrauß, ein Gutschein für eine kostenlose medizinische Untersuchung, ist zwischen den Blumen versteckt. Camellia. Treten Sie diesen Bereich nicht. Meine lieben Kinder, es tut mir so leid, dass ihr einige Monate lang nichts von mir gehört habt. Die Lage in London war schwierig. Ich weiß, es klingt vielleicht egoistisch und töricht, wenn ihr, meine Kinder, noch in einem Land lebt, das vom Krieg heimgesucht wird. Aber auch hier in England tobt ein Krieg gegen Armut und Ungerechtigkeit. Diesen Krieg will ich trotz meines fortgeschrittenen Alters führen. Deshalb schreibe ich euch heute. Ich werde nicht nach Rumänien zurückkehren. Das bedeutet, ich sehe euch wahrscheinlich nicht wieder, bevor ich sterbe. Seid nicht traurig, meine Lieben. Ihr seid mittlerweile erwachsen und habt selbst Kinder. Ihr wisst, welche Opfer wir manchmal bringen müssen, um diese Welt zu einem besseren Ort zu machen. Und dieses muss ich nun bringen. damit ich mich noch ein letztes Mal nützlich fühlen kann. Ich wünsche euch ein langes und glückliches Leben. Gebt meinen Enkeln einen Kuss von mir und vergesst nicht, dass euer Vater euch, auch weit ab der kalten Heimat, liebt. Euer euch ewig liebender Vater Darius Petrescu.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. Very well. Goodbye then. It's locked, all right.
Das muss er sein. Richard Nethercott. Muss jetzt ganz andersrum laufen?
You look so pale, my lord. Would you like me to revive you? You are Pay me a bottle, and I'll be nasty.
Erschöpfung. Habe ich irgendwas noch dabei? Nee, ne? Erkältung habe ich noch.
Oh, Camellia, the silent flower of Whitechapel. An angel made flesh, I tell you.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear Doctor.
Ist auch erkältet.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir, Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much, and that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the arid hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox, the stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious Camellia.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Nethercott.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reed.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'll leave you alone, sir. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Das denke ich nämlich auch. Aber gibt es hier irgendwo einen Unterschlupf? Ja, gibt es.
Pay me a glass and I'll be gentle. Pay me a bottle and I'll be...
Nee.
You are blinded by your false faith. Come on, we can sort it out, right?
Wo bin ich jetzt wieder? Bin ich jetzt wieder bei dem, wie heißt er? Cardigan Bates? Ich glaube, hier war ich noch gar nicht. Okay. Das war eine krasse Ausbeute. So, mal schauen, ob wir jetzt hier für Whitechapel Erschöpfung. Dreimal Erschöpfung, zweimal Erkältung, Bronchitis und Migräne. Schade, Migräne kann ich noch nicht. Huch, das war die Mixtur. Aber wenn es Plunder ist, weg damit. Ja, den wollte ich nehmen, diesen Eingang. Echt ein Ladebildschirm zum Unterschlupf? Muss das sein? Ja gut, die können wir jetzt erstmal alle schön heilen. Außer die Sache mit der Migräne. So. Harry Clayton. Albert. Richard.
Good evening, Harry. May I come in?
Sure. Sure. Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Was Neues habe ich jetzt nicht, ne? Doch.
Would it ease tensions with your father if he got an honest job? Because he tried, you know.
I can't say. I'd be glad if he dropped his thuggish activities, but I'm not sure it would be enough.
Why is that?
Sometimes I suspect it's me, Dr. Reed. Or it's this life. It's like I can't find my place.
Do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do. I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
You'll feel better with this. But you need to get a grip, young man. Medication alone won't cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this. But I thank you for your concern, sir.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Even my dreams are soaked with glory.
For there is no protection against malevolence and misery.
Nee, wo ist denn jetzt der...
You are blinded by your false faith. Imprisoned by...
Da ist Clayton. Was macht der denn da?
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
Do you need assistance?
That would be nice of you, Doctor. Who knows what I may have caught during my investigation.
If you persist in investigating the most pox-ridden boroughs of London, you must accept the risks.
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
to interview them.
Wo ist denn der Nethercott jetzt? Auf der anderen Seite?
The walls of your home will not
Geht nicht. Ich check's nicht. Psychofan Publishing. Lavender Court. Sehr geehrter Mr. Nethercott, vielen Dank für die Übersendung Ihres Gedichtbandes Lieder aus der besiegten Stadt, den wir interessant und tiefgründig fanden. Wie wir Ihnen schon nach Erhalt des ersten Exemplares mitteilten, haben Sie angesichts der schrecklichen Zeiten, die unser Land durchlebt, bitte Verständnis dafür, dass es momentan völlig ausgeschlossen ist, ein Buch mit diesem Titel zu veröffentlichen. Da Sie sich noch immer weigern, den Titel zu ändern und Ihr Werk vollständig oder gar nicht publiziert sehen wollen, muss ich Ihnen leider mitteilen, dass sich Psychofan Publishing für letztere Option entschieden hat. Mit freundlichen Grüßen, A.G. Morris.
Made flesh, I tell you.
Good evening, Mr. Nethercott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
Do you need medical attention, sir?
It may be wise to let you prescribe me something. I don't feel like I should.
I understand your appetite for words and macabre beauty, sir. But you should be more careful.
The nutrition of my mind is more important than my physical health. But I appreciate your concern, sir.
You don't really make a living from your scribblings, do you, Richard?
No, sir, I don't. I work so hard. I put all my time, my energy, my devotion into the precise carving of words.
Ein reicher Künstler.
When she was younger, my mother was a painter and a poet. She told me many times how poor her artist friends were and how she helped them.
My parents pay for my rent, my food, and my clothes. All I have to give them in return is lies they do not believe.
You seem embarrassed.
Someday I hope to proudly offer my first publication to my parents. Until that day, I'll remain the failure of a son they have to support.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Wer fehlt jetzt noch von denen? Albert Palmer, Cadigan Bates.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look.
Wo waren die beiden denn?
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems. As long as you have the money.
Sick and suffering.
Black and bloody heart, boy. Someday you'll understand. You've wasted your life away.
How are you, boy?
I'm not your boy, all right? Now piss off.
Do you need assistance?
Please. Feeling tired these days.
There you go. Let's hope nobody steals it from you.
Very funny.
Goodbye, young man.
The wet boots will be proud of me.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
Aber das sehen wir erst in der nächsten Folge.